Hey everyone, welcome to the another episode of eCom Stories with Raja. My name is Raja and I am the CEO of eCommanagers.com. I'm also the show host for this particular show. Today I have a real ninja with me. I'm not going to give a more of her introduction today. She will introduce herself, like how she came into the Amazon business and when, and what are the struggles, initial struggles and stuff like that. So please welcome the one and only Ritu. Hey Ritu, how are you from PPC Ninja?
Hey Raja, how are you? I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for accepting the invitation and coming on the
Yeah.
show. Today, our main topic is like your top three main strategies for the PPC, like how we're gonna get high conversions with low ad spend. So we will talk about them laterly. But right now, just give a brief introduction of yourself, like where actually you are coming from, how did you start that particular agency, and what a PPC Ninja actually did for different clients, and like what is your experience? How did you came to the Amazon business for the first time? How did you hear about that? All kind of the things.
Yeah. Happy to share my story. I've been in the e-commerce world for over 10 years. I actually started with my own online store on Etsy. I don't know if you've heard of Etsy, but it's one of the portals for handmade. And so I used to be selling jewelry on Etsy a long time ago, over 10 years ago, actually. And that's what got me interested in the online space. And I saw the power of leveraging these platforms online and being able to reach customers anywhere in the world, which was like so mind blowing and so powerful. And so that kind of got me started on thinking about building a brand. So it was all about all the things that go around the main thing that you're selling. It's not just in my case it was jewelry, so it wasn't like I was just selling jewelry. I was also selling the idea of being of looking beautiful, for example, or the all the things that go around it, like things that are related to handmade or things that are interesting to people who are in my target demographic. So I had to learn create blog posts and run ads and all that stuff. So fast forward to about 4 or 5 years ago, I actually took a course in data science, so that I could get myself really into the advertising aspect, because that was what was really compelling to me. And I thought this was my way to understand data and how one can manage data at scale, because I was doing it for my own company. And that brought me to the United States. So over the span of my life, I've actually lived in 4 countries. I was born in India, but I lived for 17 years in Japan. So that was a very, very long time. And then moved to the United States, lived there for a few years. And then now I'm living and working in Canada. So I am currently the CEO of PPC Ninja, and we are an agency, a software provider, and an education company. So we've got 3 goals. So providing software for people who want to use the self-serve platform for managing their own PPC. Services that help manage other people's PPC or give them consultancy around things like strategy for PPC or how to set up their campaigns, and education, which is basically one-on-one coaching, or we have a lot of masterminds that we run. I'm sure you've probably been on or heard about one of our masterminds, but we do a lot of those every year. So yeah, that's kind of the background. Now I'm really passionate about PPC, and I love to talk about PPC and learn from other people as well. So I'll be really interested in discussing the top 3 sales generating strategies on Amazon today with you today. So looking forward to it.
Awesome. And what exactly PPC Ninja is doing? I think so. Ecom manages, like which agency right now I'm owning. I'm also
Yep.
the CEO of that particular agency. So we are actually doing that particular same stuff, but morely we are targeting a to Z Amazon account management. But yeah, PPC is one of the my most favorite topic, as
Yep.
I believe that it's a like in the Amazon there are the three main game changers. Number one is your product, the product research, how actually you did that. The second one is your listing, how you present that particular product. And the third one, which I believe that I think so, that is marketing, how you're gonna market your product. So for that purpose, the PPC, the one of the most important, because first two are actually quite similar. They have the same steps, but the PPC actually requires a lot of new strategies on the daily basis. You need to optimize, like how we're gonna optimize that particular campaign on daily basis, like what exactly the things are going on, previous trends, sales, conversion, different kind of metrics, a lot of things which are actually involved in the campaigns. So yeah, coming back to our main topic. So today topic is quite very simple. Like I just wanted to make sure that, like, I actually received a lot of different queries like, hey Raja, like we are struggling with the PPC. What are you gonna suggest and stuff like that. So I give a lot of content from my own end, but I wanted to give the real experts opinion as well. So that's why, like, I request you to come and share your opinion as well. So like share your top three strategies, like to get more and more convenience with the lowest possible ad spend.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so happy to dive into the top three. So, I mean, there's so many different strategies, and those strategies are evolving all the time. As you rightly said, there's so much to be done in the PPC world, and Amazon is also changing all the time, right? So there is, always like new things. You have to be on top of your game like constantly, right? But like a majority of the people are mostly concerned with how to do keyword optimization, right? That would be, I would say, the bulk of the kind of PPC that people manage. They will do some keyword research. They will run ads, the standard like auto campaign, manual campaign. They will do keyword negative targeting, and now product negative targeting. But they are pretty much trapped in in those three or four strategies, and they don't probably think outside of that. So there's a lot more, right? And what can set you apart from a highly competitive advertiser is knowing those other things, because everyone is competing for the same space, and it is getting very, very competitive. As a lot of people know, this is extremely CPCs are rising every single year, and it's getting more and more competitive. So, if you're an agency, for example, and you've been given a mandate that make the ACOS low or whatever, target ACOS is whatever percentage, you're under a lot of pressure to kind of deliver those results. And given that everything is not within your control, there's so many factors about the listing, like you said, or something external to just the PPC. There's only so much you can do with bid optimization. So what really smart marketers do is that they know all the other tricks around just that main core that everyone's focusing on, and that's what I want to touch on today. So it's not going to be like how to manage, or it's not going to be about what should be in your manual campaigns. It's more about what else you should do so that you can get that extra little bit that can set you apart from everyone else. So
Awesome,
that's
awesome.
kind of the background. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
awesome. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I guess the first one that I want to give you is something that's pretty, well, kind of relatively new. And I think a lot of people have already started leveraging. These are video ads, right? So video ads, I think, are super powerful at this point. And I'll explain why. There's a couple of reasons why video ads are um, an extremely good way for even like a no-name brand to kind of rise to the top and be among the top sellers, because video ad gives you page one placement, right? So at this point, all the video ads are showing up on page one. In the future, they might be showing up on other pages or other placements as well, but at this point, they give you such a large area of the real estate that you do want to leverage that if you're brand registered. So this is definitely applies to brand registered sellers only. But video ads right now have an extremely high click-through rate. So that's one of the metrics that we look at when we try to see, okay, for these many impressions, how many clicks are you getting, right? So being on page one itself is a big plus, but the click-through rate being so high, it's almost above 1%. Like the average on all the other ad types tends to be about 0.5% click-through rate, right? So this one is almost double of that. It could be even more. It starts almost like around 1%. I've seen really high click-through rates of 2%, 3% even. So that really shows that, this ad converts really, really well. All you need to do is to get people onto your page, and then you can, take them from there and close the deal, have the conversion. But having a high click-through rate to start with is super important and super helpful.
So
So at this point, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So for particularly when we are talking about the video ads, so do you have any suggestion for the video, like top three or four
Yeah.
suggestions, like what should be in that particular video which we are going to use in our video campaigns? So any top three suggestions. So we will move to the next strategy.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, the video. So there's a variety of different strategies on how to set up video ads, and we actually wrote a whole blog post on that. If you want to go check it out on the PPC Ninja blog, there's like 4 or 5 different strategies on how to present these ads. But I can just share maybe one of them. So one of the strategies. So you could go the expensive route, which is like go to like a videographer and get your video ads created professionally in a studio setting, or with some real lifestyle settings. But you could also do something very quickly with either 2D ads, which means just flat images, but you're zooming and panning in and out. Or you could do something in between that, which could be an animation style. So all three styles, we've been testing all three styles,
And
and
which one is
yeah.
yeah, and which one is the maximum converted style
Yeah, so well, it totally depends on the market. It totally depends on
category
which
as well?
category we're targeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I've definitely seen some sort of uniqueness is really good. Like, so for example, I think everyone has seen that ad of, I think it was a pet or something that walks across the screen and the tail wags off the the text. So that is eye-catching, right? So anything that has a little bit of novelty, those do really well. So there's different ways to achieve that.
Sure. And what about the second strategy?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So the second strategy is definitely, my second favorite strategy is product targeting.
Hmm.
And what we do in product targeting is, we're setting up. It's almost like setting up a funnel on someone else's funnel. So
Mhm.
imagine, this huge funnel where traffic is flowing through to, let's say, your competitors or to a related product.
Mhm.
When you place your little funnel inside their funnel or close to it, then a part of that traffic could get channeled to your funnel as well, right? So if you
I
look at it, yeah.
I usually use a simple line for this like product targeting, like we are
Yeah,
getting the fruits from others' roots. So like we
yeah.
are
Oh, that love it.
yeah. So
Yes, yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, absolutely. The two analogies are very related. So yeah, I totally. So what we tend to do is, we so you have a variety of choices, right? You have so many different products you could target, and there's many places you can get ideas for product targeting. Again, check out our blog. We have a whole blog post on 10 different strategies for product targeting ads. But one of the strategies is to basically target the biggest sellers in
mhm.
your space, because they naturally bring you the most traffic, right? And so that's a
Exactly.
quick way of getting more exposure. So if you want more exposure, you go after the big guys, you put your ad on the big guys. Yeah.
Biggest on the base of reviews or biggest on the base of the listing age?
Well, yeah, so there's a couple of different ways you can gauge whether they're getting a lot of traffic. So for example, if you have access to brand analytics, you can actually look at the top three, and definitely for the main keyword. So let's say you just type your main keyword in, you look at the top three that are getting the most click share. You can simply target those. That's a quick way of finding out who the top people are in your space for certain keywords. Or you could use other tools that can give you volume, monthly sales volume and stuff like that. So all you're looking at this point is volume, right? If you're getting volume on that page, you're positioning your ad on that page, definitely target them as a separate ad. Like, don't mix it up with the smaller sellers, because the smaller sellers will not, they may not convert, and then Amazon will favor the traffic that's coming in through the larger seller, and you will get impressions there, maybe not on the other. Budget will get distributed and skewed in favor of the larger seller. So you want to separate out your ads, and I think that by this point everyone understands that. So separating out your ads based on the search volume actually is a smart strategy. um, The other thing related to product targeting is that you can actually target whole categories. Like if
Yeah,
you're in, let's say, the the toy space, you can just target the whole toy space, but keep your bids really low because those will go fast. Like your
exactly,
budget will get up used up
exactly.
very fast. So you want to keep your bids really low, especially when you're targeting um, a whole category,
in
right? Yeah.
addition in addition to that, like the new sellers, if they are listening to this particular point, so I just wanted to add another thing. Along with lowering your initial bids, please make sure that like we should apply a campaign cap as well, a portfolio cap, so that actually help us to have a very strong grip on the entire campaign section. So like we cannot be face any kind of overspending. So Ritu, the very first thing is that like we need to use like a video campaign. So that is actually going to help getting a lot of conversion at a low ad spend. And on the second strategy is that like we can use the product targeting. So what about the third, your top from top three strategies? Like what is your third strategy for the conversions?
Right, yeah. And so the last strategy for today is basically a little bit controversial. So I'm just going to say it, and just remember that this is tricky because if you don't understand it fully, it could go, any direction. So this is about negative keywords. It's a topic that I
Yeah.
really feel passionate about because, people use negative keywords in weird ways and it can totally
people
mess up.
people use negative keywords in a very negative way.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. They use it in a negative way to so blindly, right?
Yeah,
They're just doing
exactly,
it
exactly.
blindly. Yeah, yeah. So I've noticed that, and I think so. A lot of tools have negative keywording built into their automation, and we don't have like PPC Ninja's tool doesn't do that intentionally because it's got there's a lot of human oversight that's required before you actually apply any sort of negative keywording strategy. So let me just explain what I'm trying to say. So negative keywords, um, can be very powerful, right? To block off impressions completely to a search term, right? So anyone types that search term, your ad will not be shown at all, right? So that's the power of negative keywords. So you can use it to your advantage if it makes sense. For example, if you are in a category that has a word that you use that has a double meaning, right? Or let's say a keyword that has um, yeah, so double meanings would be one. Others could be like a totally different product. So let's say the classic example people give is phone cases, like whether your phone cases are Apple or Android, and let's say you're only selling Apple phone cases, so you want to put Android as a negative. Simple things like that, that makes sense. That's totally powerful, and you don't want to waste your clicks on the wrong thing. Um, but then the other side of the equation is when there's you have a whole a catalog of related products. So
Exactly.
I had one client in our agency who had many very similar products. They were not variations, so it's not like a color variation. They're different products, but they are related because they serve a similar purpose. Like they all can be substituted for each other, right? So
They
there
are
wasn't a
solving the same
clear.
problem.
Sorry, say that again.
They are solving the same problem, almost a similar problem.
Yes. Yeah, so exactly. If they're solving the same problem or a similar problem, and but they're differently shaped, or they look different, or whatever, they are different. You don't necessarily want to put blocks between because you might actually be leading from one of your catalog, one of your products to another. So one of our customers had this, she had aggressive negative keywording between her products. So the one product's main keyword was blocked on the other one, and so on, so vice versa, right? So it was completely no traffic between them. And that was the first thing we noticed, and we just lifted those barriers. And then her sales just took a lift, because it
Yeah.
was so easy for someone who was on one to see an ad for the other and just uh, flow through whichever funnel. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're getting your sales, right? So that's an important thing. So yeah, I would say definitely look at your negative keywording strategy carefully, because you don't want to block something that is actually really possible. So I have a few examples that I thought I'll share with you guys. So is it okay if I just share my screen?
Sure, sure, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So But I think this the screen share that I'm doing, I'm just gonna. Oh, I think you'll have to share. Allow me to share my screen, Raj. So yeah, while Raja's doing that, I'm just gonna share an example from a brand that I recently discovered. And this brand has lots of related products. They also are doing a really good job with their video ads. So I'm just going to show like all of those. Yeah, so so here I'm just going to take you through a few examples to kind of bring together all the stuff that I just talked about. So my keyword is toys, right? I just type toys to see what shows up, right? So I go down, and the ad that I'm shown is this one. So really, it catches my eye. Like there's so many other things, but yeah, this seems to be so eye-catching that I don't even want to look at all of these. I'm just wanting to click into this, right? So I did go into I did go into the product. Actually, it was this product, and so I am seeing that this is some sort of educational kids toy, right? So it's a toy, it's an educational kids toy. So then I wanted to explore what else they have, right? So when I went to the Shifu store, this is what their store looks like, right? So they have a bunch of different products. So there's like a geography based one, a math based one, some music based one, and then just words based one, right? So these are, I guess, if you would look at these products individually and use the wrong negative keywording strategy, you might be tempted to put uh, math or something like that for the geography one, but that's a mistake, right? Because that is, you're blocking the discovery of one. It's easy for you to send traffic from one product to the other by creating a funnel. We do a lot of these connected funnels where we target our own products through product targeting ads. So if you have a setup like that, then you want the traffic to flow and not to get blocked, right? So being careful about your keyword strategy there is super important. um, at the same time, I wanted to show you one example of product targeting, right? So while this product is it's a pretty standard, like a standard listing here, but I'm seeing a sponsored display product targeting ad. So in my second tip about product targeting, I actually want to refer to two types of product targeting. You can do product targeting either through sponsored products, or you could do it through sponsored display. And of the two, I prefer sponsored display. If you can, get a really nice optimized campaign, and you get a good ACOS, then sponsored display gives you no competition. Like it's clean. There is no other distraction around this ad, so it's really powerful to have that. Of course, you could go down and see the products related to this item, and you get a lot of choices. This is your sponsored product targeting, or it could even be the auto campaign. But with these two strategies, you can basically make sure that if someone is not completely satisfied with this listing, they have something else. So having an ad, let's say from their own catalog, if they place this ad over here, that would be awesome, right? Of course, you cannot control it so pinpointedly, but you can at least start targeting this, and chances are that you'll show up quite a few times. There's another placement right under here, which is also a sponsored display, so that's another one you could leverage. So yeah, so with these different strategies, I think you can set up a PPC strategy that's not just about keywords alone, but it's about a bunch of different things that you're doing together, so that overall you have much more profitable ROI or ROAS on your ads.
Yeah, that's really awesome, Ritu. Very first thing is that, like, let me summarize that particular strategy. So, very first thing is that, we have three main strategies. Number one, which actually you recommend, is that we need to run the video campaigns. The second one is that we need to target or add the product targeting based campaigns as well. And the third one, the dangerous topic in the Amazon field, that like we need to add the negative keyword targeting as well. Like I totally agree with on all these particular strategies. Just wanted to add a point from my side in the third strategy. Like most of the people and clients, hopefully they are come to you and come to me as well, like, hey Raja, hey Ritu, we are facing 80% a cost, 100% a cost, just bring it down on any at any condition and stuff like that. Most of the people's most of the PPC strategists or the gurus or the experts, they are actually targeting the campaigns on the basis of like, we need to add these keywords, campaigns, video campaign stuff to increase the sales. But when we are talking about the a cost, so there are the two main factors. Number one is sales, we need to increase the sales as well. But we the second one, which is like most of the people actually doesn't care about that, that is spend. So most of the people target only like, we need to increase orders, we need to increase the sales, but what about the spend? And for increasing the sales, there are a lot of different strategies, but how to control the spend, that is one of the most important thing. And I think so, for as of now, to controlling the ad spend, I think so that directly refers to your third strategy, which is the like the negative keywords. Like, if we are very efficient in adding the negative keywords or properly target them, then we can control the spend. And when we add the both things, like working on the increasing the sales, while on the main side, like we will also help our campaigns to decrease the ad spend as well. So in the combination, we are decreasing the a cost tremendously. So I think so the combination of these two particular things will help us to decrease the a cost. And that is our actual main topic as well, like how we're gonna get more and more conveyance, and at the end, like how we're gonna get that particular conveyance with the low ad spend. So this is all. And thank you so much, Ritu, for coming on the show. I have a lot of things which I wanted to discuss, but video already takes a lot of time. So soon we would like to have another episode, and then we will discuss some other strategies which may help the new sellers or the advanced sellers to make their Amazon success more perfectly. And at the end, thank you so much again for coming on the show. And the persons who are going to watch, please like, share, and comment what kind of issues you are facing. So we will discuss about that particular things later on.
Thank you so much, Raja, for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, over and out, everyone.